prepare yourself.
I don't even think Thor with Mjolnir in hand could get through that much ice.
Then Thor's a fool.
Thor's hammer Mjolnir has been highlighted as one of the most powerful weapons in God of War, but it does have a weakness. Let's get started. Thor has killed many giants as stated in the past in God of War using his hammer, but it does have a weakness. This weakness is shown in the first game when we visit Thamur's corpse.
I have a plan.
You do?
Do not act so surprised.
Oh, no offense, brother, but I don't even think Thor with Mjolnir in hand could get through that much ice.
Even with his hammer, Thor won't be able to get through a load of ice. The main emphasis here is placed on ice, obviously. We do know that Kratos' axe, the Leviathan axe, is also referred to just as an axe or a frost axe. The axe is infused with the echoing screams of 20 frost trolls, which makes it very powerful. This is also stated by Sindri in the first game, and he's one of the dwarves who made the axe in the first place.
Ask me. It's one of our best. Infused with the echoing screams of 20 frost trolls. Give or take.
The axe in the first game has a lot of abilities. One is the ability to recall the weapon from anywhere, and then it's obviously the use of ice and the various types of runic attacks and stuff. Thor is going to be one of the main villains in God of War Ragnarok, and pretty much we can expect a massive battle between Kratos and Thor, and pretty much the axe is going to be a very key weapon in our battle. And probably this whole hint was dropped in God of War 2018 itself with the whole power of the axe, and how Thor's hammer Mjolnir can't really break a lot of ice and stuff. It can be an advantage or it can be leading to something else as well. Brok and Sindri both made the Leviathan axe in order to restore a balance in power. Since Mjolnir was so strong, they might have made the axe to have an upper hand against the hammer. Maybe this was also the reason that Faye passed on the axe to Kratos, as she knew everything which was going to happen, as in the first game, with the whole Mural situation. And yeah, pretty much she maybe knew that Kratos will fight Thor one day, and that's one of the main reasons she passed on the axe to Kratos.
Yes. Yes, we are.
One of the biggest questions God of War 2018 left is the man on the mural, and it's still not clear to us, and only the sequel might answer. Now, before we try and see who the man is, I just wanted to show this picture. I basically had a picture of the mural, and I could notice that Atreus is taller than the man in the mural. So I decided to take Atreus off the picture and place him in a similar angle to the man on the mural. And it's pretty clear that Atreus here has his legs folded, and he yet seems to be taller than the man on the mural. So this could confirm that the man on the mural isn't going to be Kratos. Till now, I believed the man was Tyr, but Tyr in the trailer is taller than Kratos himself. So it's not Kratos, it's not Tyr as well. So who could it be? I think it could be Sindri, it could be anyone else as well, but I don't really think it's going to be Kratos, and it certainly can't be Tyr. It's clearly evident, the height difference and stuff. And yes, Atreus has grown up a lot, but in the trailer he isn't as tall as Kratos yet, and Tyr is literally huge and he's taller than Kratos himself. So I guess the man in the mural is indeed Sindri. This could also be the reason Atreus is wearing the mistletoe necklace in God of War Ragnarok's wallpaper as a sort of memory towards Sindri, and Sindri is the one who gave Atreus the necklace in the first place. So it is a real possibility.
You saved me, and that deserves compensation.
What are these?
Braided mistletoe arrows, straighter than Heimdall and perfectly weighted.
Oh. Thanks?
Oh.
Or Atreus is just wearing the mistletoe arrow as a sort of memory of the first god he took down with Kratos, who was Baldur indeed.
You might want to turn away, boy. This won't be pretty.
I won't let you hurt him.
No, boy.
Fine.
Stop! No! No! Atreus! You're bleeding. Breathe, boy. Breathe!
Not my blood.
I can feel this.
That arrow. Baldur punched the mistletoe?
In the quiver strap, yes. Mistletoe harmed him.
Freya said it was wicked.
He's more than harmed. The spell is broken.
He can be killed.
I'm certain of it. It's all coming back now.
So the man in the mural could be Sindri as well. Maybe he dies halfway through the game or something like that, and that's the fulfillment of the mural. And that's when we see Atreus wearing the mistletoe arrow, just as a sort of memory of Sindri. The man in the mural could be anyone, but I don't really think it's going to be Kratos. I used to think it was Tyr. Odin is confirmed to appear in the sequel, and not a lot has been revealed about his role in the game. Odin is extremely important, but he seems like one of the main factors in the sequel and how the story is going to play out. And yeah, let's get started. We obviously do know that Odin does want to prevent Ragnarok and will do anything to make it happen, and pretty much getting to Jotunheim as well. It's one of his major obsessions. And in the first game through Mimir, we get to know that Odin is very clever and his idea is all about control. He wants to know and see everything and even influence anything he can't prevent by knowing a lot of information about it. Odin is also a collector of prophecies.
Odin is extremely clever, you see. Nearly as clever as he thinks he is. And he's a collector of prophecies. If it's about the future, he adds it to his collection. Helps him style himself as all-seeing and all-knowing. But of course, the idea is control. Control of the future, control of his fate. He'd control every realm of every land in every world if he could. Every potential pocket of resistance, he seeks to eliminate.
Another important fact which points towards Odin being a very prominent and important character is Skoll and Hati. Skoll and Hati are the wolf giants, basically. Mimir does narrate a story about Skoll and Hati and how Odin imprisoned them.
Odin captured them as pups and kept them in the kennels of Asgard to hold his foe at bay. When the sun and moon grew mutinous and stood still, Odin put Skoll and Hati to use. With his ancient magics, he cast the wolves to the heavens, and they began their chase. And long shall they chase, but not endlessly, for it is foretold that someday Skoll and Hati will catch and devour their prey, and that day shall be Ragnarok, the twilight of the gods.
But Ragnarok is supposed to be Odin's doom, isn't it? Why would he set the wolves loose if it fulfills the prophecy?
Precisely the question, lad. It's always about control. The wolves determine when Ragnarok begins, and now he controls the wolves. A battle fought on his timetable is a battle he better stands to win.
The whole idea of control is brought about in the first game, and the whole explanation of Odin just sums up in one word: control. And obviously, with Skoll and Hati under his timetable, it's obvious that he controls when Ragnarok begins, and it is made clear in the first game as well.
Odin wants to prevent Ragnarok, but the serpent's already been there and seen it. So hasn't he already failed?
Fate's a tricky thing, lad. And Odin's just arrogant enough to think he can get the best of it.
Fate is another lie told by the gods. Nothing is written that cannot be unwritten.
On that, brother, you and the All-Father may just agree. Even if he can't prevent Ragnarok, he still hopes to learn enough details to influence the outcome.
Odin also stole the missing panel about Tyr in the first game.
Odin must have stolen it. But why?
He always has his reasons. Might I have a look? He'd control every realm of every land in every world if he could. Hold on, wait a minute. This isn't going to work.
What?
There's no travel crystal. Tyr must have used his own eyes to refract the energy. It was his final failsafe.
You've got eyes like him, Mimir.
I've got an eye. One! Odin plucked out my other eye precisely to keep me from traveling.
Pretty much every single thing Odin's done in the first game has somehow made an impact to us as the player as well, because obviously we had to go inside the snake to find Mimir's other eye, and it's almost as if Odin knew what was going to happen and when it was going to happen, basically. God of War 2018 did a great job in establishing a lot of important characters, and one of the characters who is extremely important and might be very prominent in God of War Ragnarok is Surtur. Surtur, who is a very important giant in Norse mythology, has been mentioned in God of War 2018 as well. There's a lot of imagery as well, and it kind of depicts him and the future. When we visit Muspelheim, we do see a mural depicting Surtur, and it also shows him fighting with Thor and Odin. A certain dialogue also plays which takes place between Mimir and Atreus.
This one's called Surtur. Must be a fire giant.
Aye, the first and original.
He makes a flaming sword.
A weapon of legend.
He fights Thor and Odin. But is that the past or the future?
That may be a matter of perspective.
Mimir does say that it may be a matter of perspective, and so it is a real possibility we could be seeing Surtur fight Thor and Odin, and even possibly destroy Asgard when the event of Ragnarok takes place. And Ragnarok is definitely set to happen in the game, and it is confirmed by the director of God of War Ragnarok, Eric Williams himself. Now, how do we know that Surtur will definitely destroy Asgard when the event of Ragnarok takes place? It is confirmed by what Mimir describes Surtur as, and there is a certain dialogue in the game.
Surt the Brave forged his sword of flame for one purpose alone: to burn down Asgard when Ragnarok comes at last. His destiny is to fall at the hands of Thor and Odin, but in so doing, strike the blow that leaves their realm in ash and ruin. And from that destruction, the world can be born anew. Until then, alone he waits in Muspelheim, never sleeping, ever honing his fiery blade.
Once Mimir describes the story of Surtur and finishes up, basically a certain message comes up which says lore added, basically, and in the journal this is what is written. Even in the journal is written that Surtur fought or will fight Thor and Odin, so we can expect Surtur to have an important role in God of War Ragnarok, and he might be able to destroy Asgard when Ragnarok takes place. Atreus is kinda anxious in the trailer, and it kinda shows as if there will be disputes between Kratos and Atreus.
I should be out there, finding out who I am, who Loki is.
We do know that Odin wants a lot of knowledge and will do a lot of things to achieve it.
Odin is extremely clever, you see. Nearly as clever as he thinks he is. And he's a collector of prophecies. If it's about the future, he adds it to his collection. Helps him style himself as all-seeing and all-knowing. But of course, the idea is control. Control of the future, control of his fate. He'd control every realm of every land in every world if he could. Every potential pocket of resistance, he seeks to eliminate.
We do know that Odin has captured Tyr, and Tyr is sort of established as a god of war, but who fights for peace, basically. And obviously, he's been to other realms as well, other pantheons as well, and it was evident when we saw the artifact depicting Kratos in Greece. So Tyr does know about Kratos' past, and now that Odin's captured Tyr, he could get to know more about Kratos and about his past, basically. Atreus, on the other hand, is obviously desperate to know about himself, and it is evident in the trailer as well. Odin might use Kratos' past as a sort of trap for Atreus, and this might happen at the end of God of War Ragnarok, maybe like after a massive battle or something like that. Odin might tell Atreus that Kratos did have a family before him and Faye, and that Kratos did kill his old family. Atreus, after listening to this, would probably get angry and sort of like take up a split with Kratos and have a life of his own, basically. And this would also be a depiction of the mural where we see Atreus and the wolves walking together. Kratos obviously isn't seen on that mural. There are a lot of hints dropped in God of War 2018 as well, which indicate that Odin does want a lot of knowledge.
Own the Lord of the Hand.
That refers to a modest example of Odin's thirst for knowledge. The time he spent 9 days a dead man. Hung himself by the neck from Yggdrasil's branches, put his spear through his own side and bled down into the Well of Destiny. He roamed the realms of the dead and plundered the world tree of its secrets, until I think quite rightly it got fed up with him and sent him back to the land of the living. Did I not mention he was barking mad?
Another important thing to be noted is that we do see Atreus talk about Kratos being a general in the trailer.
Stop thinking like a father for a moment and start thinking like a general.
So I think that Kratos might have told Atreus about his past and about him being a general and more about the events of God of War 3 and stuff, but definitely wouldn't have mentioned to Atreus about his old family. These are just my theories, guys, and I can be wrong as well. Do let me know what you guys think, and I do have other God of War videos you may want to check out. All the links are down in the description, and thank you so much for watching, guys. That's about it for today. Do leave a like if you have enjoyed, subscribe for more videos like this. Do follow me on Instagram and Facebook as well. All links are down in the description, and I'll see you all in the next one.